What if everything in the universe, every spinning galaxy, every flickering star, even the atoms in your fingertips, were all being pulled by the same invisible strings? Picture a force so immense it could bend space, twist time, and choreograph the dance of existence itself. For centuries, humans have looked up at the night sky and wondered, is there a single, all-powerful superforce behind the cosmos? From the myths of ancient civilizations to the equations of modern physics, this idea has haunted our collective imagination. Today, we're going to chase that mystery down the rabbit hole, exploring whether the universe operates under one unified rule, or if reality is far stranger than we've ever dreamed. Think about the last time you felt awe. Maybe it was watching a sunset or staring into the depths of a telescope, realizing how small we are in the grand scheme of things. That humbling sensation is just a glimpse of what scientists and philosophers have wrestled with for millennia. The ancient Greeks imagined the cosmos bound by the will of gods. Einstein spent his final years searching for a single equation to explain everything. Even now, with all our technology, we're left staring at the same profound question. Does the universe have a conductor? Is there a hidden hand guiding the symphony of existence? Or are we simply hearing the chaos of countless unrelated notes? This isn't just theoretical pondering, it's a journey that could redefine reality itself. We'll travel from the birth of the universe to the cutting edge of quantum physics, where particles seem to communicate faster than light, defying everything we thought we knew. We'll examine how black holes, dark energy, and even the fabric of spacetime might be threads woven by the same cosmic loom. And most importantly, we'll ask what it means for us. If such a superforce exists, does it care about the atoms that became you? Or are we just fleeting patterns in an infinite, indifferent design? Strap in. This exploration will stretch your mind to the very edges of the known universe and maybe beyond. Long before telescopes or particle colliders, our ancestors gazed at the heavens and sensed something profound, a hidden order behind the chaos. The Egyptians saw the sun god Ra steering his fiery boat across the sky. The Greeks envisioned Zeus hurling lightning from Olympus. These weren't just stories, they were humanity's first attempts to explain the invisible threads pulling the universe's strings. Fast forward to today, and that same burning curiosity drives physicists to hunt for what Einstein called the unified field theory, a single mathematical framework that could explain gravity, electromagnetism, and the forces governing atoms. It's astonishing how closely ancient myths mirror modern science's grandest ambition. Both are searching for the same thing, the master key to reality's deepest mysteries. Take gravity, for example. It's the force that keeps planets orbiting and galaxies swirling, yet we still don't fully understand how it connects to quantum mechanics. Then there's electromagnetism, shaping everything from the auroras to the synapses firing in your brain right now. What if these forces, along with the strong and weak nuclear forces, are just different faces of one ultimate power? Think of it like this: water can be a liquid, a solid, or a vapor, but fundamentally it's all H2O. Could the universe work the same way? This quest isn't just about equations. It's about the very nature of existence. Philosophers like Spinoza argued that the universe itself was divine, a single, infinite substance expressing itself in countless forms. Eastern traditions speak of Brahman, the ultimate reality underlying all illusions. Even Stephen Hawking wrestled with this idea, asking whether discovering such a superforce would finally reveal the mind of God. Whether through prayer or particle accelerators, humanity keeps returning to the same breathtaking possibility. that beneath the dizzying complexity of reality, there might be one elegant, unifying truth. And if we find it, we won't just rewrite physics textbooks. We might finally answer the oldest question of all: why is there something instead of nothing? Ancient civilizations didn't just invent gods, they were mapping the cosmos with the only tools they had: wonder and observation. When the Babylonians tracked the motion of planets, they saw the handwriting of deities. The Hindu Rigveda described the universe as an infinite web, vibrating with a single sacred sound. Even separated by oceans and millennia, these cultures kept arriving at the same startling idea: that existence isn't random, but woven together by something vast and unseen. Take the Greek concept of the logos. It wasn't merely a god, it was the rational principle holding reality together, a cosmic glue binding chaos into order. Fast forward to quantum physics, and we're grappling with eerily similar concepts like the unified field, or the holographic principle suggesting the universe is a projection of deeper laws. Consider the indigenous Australian Dreamtime stories, where ancestral spirits sang the world into being. Compare that to modern string theory, where reality emerges from vibrating filaments of energy. The parallels are uncanny. Or look at the Norse world tree Yggdrasil, connecting all realms of existence. Doesn't that sound like the space-time continuum, with its invisible fabric linking every point in the cosmos? These myths might lack equations, but they pulse with intuitive genius. They sensed what science now struggles to prove: that separateness could be an illusion. Even the language we use betrays this deep-seated intuition. The word universe comes from the Latin for turned into one. Centuries before telescopes, we named the cosmos after unity. So when ancient scribes described gods shaping stars with their hands, or indigenous elders spoke of a great spirit humming through creation, they might have been closer to the truth than we realized. Not literally, of course, but as metaphors pointing toward a reality we're only beginning to grasp. After all, if today's physicists can entertain wild ideas like 11-dimensional membranes or parallel universes, who's to say the visionaries of old weren't touching the same mystery, just through a different lens? The real question isn't whether they were wrong, but whether we've underestimated how right they might have been. Modern physics stands at the edge of a breathtaking frontier, the hunt for a single equation that could tie together all the forces shaping our universe. For decades, scientists have wrestled with a peculiar puzzle. Why do the four fundamental forces behave so differently? Gravity sculpts galaxies with its gentle pull across cosmic distances, while the strong nuclear force locks protons together with unbreakable bonds inside atoms. Electromagnetism orchestrates everything from lightning storms to brainwaves, and the weak nuclear force quietly governs radioactive decay. On the surface, they seem as unrelated as wind, fire, and tides, yet physicists suspect they might be branches of the same hidden root. Enter string theory, perhaps the most ambitious attempt to weave these forces into one grand tapestry. Imagine the universe isn't made of particles at all, but of unimaginably tiny strings vibrating in 11 dimensions. Like different notes on a guitar string, these vibrations could produce all the forces and particles we observe, a single cosmic instrument playing the symphony of reality. But here's the twist: string theory demands dimensions beyond the four we experience. Some are curled up smaller than an atom, others stretching beyond our cosmic horizon. It's as if we've been living on the surface of a pond, unaware of the depths below. Then there's loop quantum gravity, a rival approach that reimagines space itself as a fabric woven from microscopic loops. Picture space-time not as smooth and continuous, but as a shimmering network of interconnected threads like pixels making up a digital image. In this view, gravity emerges from the way these threads knot and twist, offering a potential bridge between Einstein's relativity and the quantum world. Both theories share a radical idea that the forces we perceive as separate might just be different facets of something deeper. The implications are staggering. If proven, unification could explain mysteries like dark energies accelerating push on the cosmos, or why the universe favors matter over antimatter. Some models even suggest that in the extreme heat of the Big Bang, all forces were a perfect symmetry shattered as the universe cooled. Like ice crystals forming unique patterns from water, the forces we know may have frozen out of that primordial unity. Yet for all their elegance, these theories face fierce challenges. String theory's extra dimensions remain frustratingly out of reach, while quantum gravity struggles to match the precision of established physics. It's as if we're trying to reconstruct a grand cathedral from a single brick. But perhaps that's the nature of revelation. Every great leap in understanding began as heresy. When Newton linked the fall of an apple to the moon's orbit, or Maxwell united electricity and magnetism, they faced skepticism too. The quest for a superforce isn't just about equations, it's about rewriting the story of existence itself. And whether the answer lies in vibrating strings, quantum loops, or something beyond our current imagination, one thing is certain: the universe has never been this thrilling to unravel. Einstein's quest for a unified theory wasn't just scientific, it was almost spiritual. In his later years, he became obsessed with the idea that the universe's complexity could be distilled into one elegant equation. Picture him in his Princeton study, blackboard crammed with symbols, chasing a vision where gravity and electromagnetism weren't rivals but partners in a cosmic dance. He called it the unified field theory, a mathematical symphony that would harmonize all forces, but the universe, it seemed, wasn't ready to reveal its secrets. What made this pursuit so tantalizing and so frustrating? Einstein had already reshaped reality with relativity, proving space and time were woven into a single fabric. Yet he sensed something deeper to him: the fact that gravity curved space-time while electromagnetism operated through invisible fields felt like unfinished business. It was as if nature had left a trail of breadcrumbs, hinting at a hidden connection. He once wrote that the real mystery was whether the universe had any choice in how it was constructed. Could those seemingly arbitrary forces actually be locked together by some unseen logic? His approach was radical for its time. While other physicists dove into the burgeoning world of quantum mechanics, Einstein fixated on geometry. He imagined the universe as a vast, rippling landscape where forces emerged from the very shape of existence. Think of a marble rolling down a curved slope, its path dictated not by some external push, but by the contours beneath it. That's how he envisioned particles moving through space-time, not pulled by mysterious forces, but following the natural folds of reality. Yet the puzzle refused to solve itself. Quantum theory kept intruding with its chaotic, probabilistic rules, a stark contrast to Einstein's orderly, deterministic vision. His famous resistance to quantum mechanics wasn't just stubbornness, it was a clash of worldviews. He couldn't accept that God, as he put it, played dice. To him, the universe's unity implied perfect predictability, but the more he wrestled with the math, the more the pieces refused to fit. Decades later, we're still grappling with the same tension. Modern string theorists and quantum gravity researchers walk the path Einstein blazed, armed with tools he couldn't have imagined. They've uncovered hints of unification, like how the electromagnetic and weak nuclear forces merge at high energies, or how supersymmetry suggests particles have hidden twins. But the dream of a single, all-encompassing framework remains just out of reach. Einstein's greatest legacy might not be an equation, but a question. Is the universe fundamentally simple, and are we just missing the vantage point to see it? His notebooks overflowed with sketches of geometric shapes, as if he could intuit the answer through sheer visual brilliance. Today, we have supercomputers simulating collisions at near light speeds, yet that same awe hums beneath the data. The Superforce he sought may still be waiting, not as a relic of the past, but as a beacon for the next leap in understanding. After all, every revolution begins with someone refusing to accept that the puzzle can't be solved. Here's something that should stop you mid-breath. Everything we've ever seen, every star, planet, and swirling galaxy makes up less than 5% of the universe. The rest, a cosmic phantom lurking in the shadows. Dark matter's invisible grip holds galaxies together, while dark energy stretches space itself like an infinite rubber sheet. Together, they're the unseen architects of reality, sculpting the cosmos with forces we can't touch or measure. If that doesn't make you question what's really pulling the strings, nothing will. Think of dark matter as the universe's hidden scaffolding. Without it, galaxies would fly apart like shattered pinwheels. We know it's there because stars orbit their galactic centers too fast, as if some invisible hand is adding extra glue to the cosmic structure. Yet, despite decades of hunting, we've never directly caught a single particle of it. It's like trying to study wind by watching leaves move, never feeling the breeze on your skin. Then there's dark energy, even more baffling. Discovered in the late 1990s, it's the reason the universe isn't just expanding, it's accelerating, as if space itself is being pushed apart by some anti-gravity force. Now here's where it gets eerie. What if these aren't separate phenomena at all? Some theorists suggest dark matter and dark energy could be two faces of a single, deeper force, a cosmic yin and yang woven into the fabric of existence. Picture a vast ocean where dark matter is the current beneath the waves, steering galaxies, while dark energy is the tide itself, lifting the entire sea. Both emerge from the same body of water, just expressing themselves differently. The numbers are staggering. Dark energy alone accounts for roughly 68% of the universe's total energy. Dark matter makes up another 27%. That leaves the ordinary matter we know and love, the stuff of planets, trees, and human bodies, as a mere 5% afterthought. It's humbling, really. We've been studying the universe's shadow while the real substance eludes us. Could this dominance hint at a grander design? Some models propose that dark energy isn't just a force but a property of space itself, a kind of cosmic heartbeat pulsing through the void. Others speculate that dark matter particles might be relics from the universe's first moments, frozen echoes of a time when all forces were united. If either is true, we're not just dealing with missing puzzle pieces. We're glimpsing the edges of a blueprint, one where the visible universe floats atop a hidden ocean of deeper laws. The more we learn, the stranger it gets. Recent observations show galaxies moving in ways that defy even our dark matter models, as if some larger influence is tugging at them. Could there be an even more elusive layer beneath the darkness? It's like peeling an onion. Each layer reveals another, more fundamental mystery. What we call dark might just be the closest our current physics can come to naming something far more profound. Perhaps the most unsettling possibility is that dark matter and energy aren't anomalies at all. They might be the universe's default state, with the world we perceive as the exception. After all, if 95% of reality operates by hidden rules, who's to say our 5% isn't the outlier? This inversion flips everything. Instead of searching for how dark forces fit into our understanding, we might need to ask how our tiny slice of light fits into theirs. One thing's certain, the universe is playing a far stranger game than we imagined. Whether these dark components point to a unifying superforce or reveal layers of reality we've yet to name, they remind us how much lies beyond the limits of our senses. Every time we think we've mapped the cosmos, it throws us a curveball, not to frustrate us but to lure us deeper into the mystery, and that's the thrill of it. The moment we stop being surprised is the moment we stop truly seeing. Imagine two coins flipping simultaneously on opposite sides of the galaxy, lands heads up, and instantly, the other snaps to tails without any signal passing between them. This isn't science fiction, it's the mind-bending reality of quantum entanglement, a phenomenon so strange even Einstein dismissed it as spooky action at a distance. Yet decades of experiments confirm it's real. Particles born from the same quantum event remain mysteriously linked, their fates intertwined across cosmic distances. Faster than light, without any detectable connection, one particle's state forces its partner into perfect sync. It's as if the universe has a hidden hotline, bypassing space-time entirely. What makes this so revolutionary isn't just the weirdness, it's the implication that our classical notions of separation might be illusions. Think of space-time as a vast ocean, and entangled particles like whirlpools sharing the same underlying current. Even if you drag them apart, their connection persists because they're not truly separate. They're expressions of a deeper, unified substrate. Some physicists speculate this could hint at a cosmic superforce operating beneath the quantum foam. The math behind entanglement is just as startling. When particles entangle, they don't merely correlate, they collapse into a single quantum state described by one shared equation. Measure one and the other's properties snap into place instantaneously, no matter if it's across the room or across the universe. This isn't telepathy, it's more like two ends of the same stick. Break the stick in half, and the pieces still belong to one original object. Experiments have pushed this to absurd extremes. Scientists entangled particles and separated them by over 1,200 kilometers, roughly the distance from New York to Miami. When they measured one, its partner responded faster than light could travel between them. Not a nanosecond delay, not a flicker of hesitation. Perfect, instantaneous mirroring. It's enough to make you question whether distance means anything at the quantum level. Here's where it gets even wilder. Entanglement might not be rare. Some theories suggest the entire universe was born in a state of total entanglement during the Big Bang. As space expanded, particles stretched apart but never truly severed their primordial links. If true, we're swimming in an invisible web of quantum connections, each thread humming with silent coordination. Black holes might even amplify this effect. Their intense gravity could entangle particles inside with radiation outside, creating bridges through space-time itself. But the real bombshell, entanglement challenges our deepest assumptions about locality. The idea that objects need physical proximity or signals to interact. It's as if the universe has a backdoor, a way to bypass the speed of light traffic jam. Some theorists propose this hints at a higher dimensional geometry, where what we perceive as vast emptiness is folded into hidden shortcuts. Others wonder if entanglement reveals a layer of reality where here and there are human constructs, not fundamental truths. The implications ripple far beyond labs and equations. If particles can communicate instantaneously across cosmic gulfs, what does that say about the nature of connection itself? Could consciousness, or even life, exploit these quantum links in ways we've yet to imagine? It's no accident that entanglement has sparked dialogues between physicists and philosophers, mystics and mathematicians. At its core, it's a phenomenon that blurs the line between science and metaphysics, forcing us to confront a universe far more interconnected and far stranger than we ever dreamed. Yet for all its mystery, entanglement isn't magic. It obeys strict mathematical rules, even if we don't yet grasp the full picture. That's the tantalizing part. Every experiment peels back another layer, revealing not chaos, but an eerie, underlying order. Whether this order points to a superforce, a hidden dimension, or something beyond our current vocabulary, one thing's clear: the universe is whispering secrets in a language we're only beginning to decode. And the more we listen, the more the old boundaries between spooky and scientific start to dissolve. What if the universe isn't just aware of us, but is, in some profound way, aware through us? This isn't mysticism, it's a frontier where quantum physics and philosophy collide. Take the observer effect, one of quantum mechanics' most baffling quirks. Particles exist in a haze of possibilities, neither here nor there until measured. The act of observation, of consciousness focusing on them, seems to force reality to choose a state. It's as if the universe waits for a mind to crystallize its potential into actuality. Einstein recoiled at this idea, insisting the moon existed whether anyone looked or not. But experiments like the double-slit test keep confirming it. Reality behaves differently when watched. This isn't just about particles. Panpsychism, a theory gaining traction among neuroscientists and physicists alike, suggests consciousness isn't a byproduct of brains but a fundamental feature of reality like space or time. Imagine every atom, every star humming with a faint hum of awareness. Not human thought, of course, but a primordial form of experience woven into the fabric of existence. Even staunch materialists concede that consciousness is the hard problem of science. We can map neurons firing, but why should electrical signals feel like anything at all? Panpsychism offers a radical answer because feeling is baked into the universe's blueprint. The implications ripple outward. If consciousness is foundational, could it influence the structure of reality itself? Some interpretations of quantum mechanics propose that the universe only takes definite shape when observed, implying a cosmic dance between mind and matter. Think of it like this: a tree falling in an unobserved forest might not make a sound or even be a tree until consciousness interacts with it. This isn't solipsism. It's a suggestion that reality emerges from a dialogue between observer and observed. Even black holes hint at eerie connections. The holographic principle suggests the information inside a black hole is encoded on its surface, like a three-dimensional movie projected from a two-dimensional screen. If true, our entire universe might be a vast hologram with consciousness acting as the projector. String theorists like Leonard Susskind flirt with this idea, proposing that the real universe exists in higher dimensions and what we perceive is a shadow play. But the most startling idea comes from integrated information theory, which quantifies consciousness as a property of systems with complex interconnectivity. A human brain qualifies, but so might a galaxy's neural-like web of dark matter, or the universe itself. Could the cosmos be not just a thing, but a mind? The ancient Stoics believed in a world soul. Modern physics might be circling back to that intuition with equations. This isn't about reducing science to spirituality. It's about recognizing that consciousness might be as integral to physics as gravity. From quantum vibrations to galactic networks, the same patterns of connection reappear, as if the universe is trying to tell us something. Maybe the superforce we've been seeking isn't a particle or a field, but the very act of perception stitching reality together. After all, if a universe without observers is fundamentally indeterminate, then consciousness isn't just a passenger on this cosmic ride. It might be the driver, Picture the universe not as a vast three-dimensional expanse, but as a shimmering hologram, a cosmic illusion projected from information etched on some distant two-dimensional surface. This isn't science fiction, it's the holographic principle, a theory so radical it redefines the very nature of reality. The idea first emerged from studying black holes, those gravitational monsters that devour everything, even light. When physicists calculated how much information a black hole could contain, they made a startling discovery. Its maximum data storage wasn't proportional to its volume, but to its surface area. It was as if the entire three-dimensional interior of the black hole was encoded like a movie on a flat screen surrounding it. Now, stretch that concept to the entire cosmos. The holographic principle suggests our universe might work the same way. Every galaxy, every atom, even your thoughts right now, could all be pixels in a grand projection, with the real action happening in a higher dimensional realm we can't perceive. Think of it like watching a 3D movie without glasses. You're seeing shadows of a deeper structure. In this view, gravity, light, and the other forces we experience might just be side effects of information processing on some unimaginably distant boundary. The math behind this is both elegant and eerie. String theorists like Leonard Susskind and Nobel laureate Gerard T. Hooft realized that if you mathematically zoom out far enough, the equations describing our universe simplify, as if all the complexity we see is just a holographic echo of simpler rules operating in fewer dimensions. It's like discovering the whirlpools and waves on a pond's surface aren't random, but dictated by currents deep below. What does this mean for the idea of a superforce? If the holographic principle holds, that force might not even live in our universe. It could be the hidden code running the simulation, so to speak, a set of rules governing the higher dimensional realm that projects our reality. Some versions of the theory even suggest that time and space aren't fundamental, but emergent properties like the illusion of motion in a flipbook. Here's where it gets dizzying. The holographic principle could solve one of physics' biggest headaches, uniting Einstein's relativity with quantum mechanics. In the higher dimensional source code, these two frameworks might blend seamlessly, with the contradictions we see in our 3D world just artifacts of the projection. Imagine two people arguing over a shadow puppet's shape, only to realize they're seeing different angles of the same hand. Experiments are already probing this wild idea. Fermilab's holometer experiment tried to detect the universe's pixel size, the smallest possible unit of space-time, like the graininess of a hologram. While results were inconclusive, the hunt continues. Other researchers study the cosmic microwave background, the afterglow of the Big Bang, for patterns that might reveal an underlying holographic structure. But the most profound implication isn't technical, it's philosophical. If the holographic principle is true, then free will, consciousness, even the passage of time might be informational phenomena, not fundamental truth. You wouldn't be a body moving through space, you'd be a dynamic pattern in a cosmic data stream. It's enough to make you wonder, if reality is a projection, who or what is holding the projector? Maybe the ancients were onto something with their myths of veils and illusions. The Hindu concept of Maya, the Gnostic demiurge, Plato's cave, all hinted that the world we perceive isn't the whole story. Today's physicists are arriving at a similar conclusion, armed with equations instead of allegories. Whether the holographic principle ultimately holds or not, it's a breathtaking reminder. The universe is stranger than we can imagine, and every answer we uncover seems to reveal deeper questions waiting in the shadows. Black holes have long been painted as the universe's ultimate villains, cosmic vacuum cleaners, sucking in everything that dares to cross their event horizons. But what if we've had it all wrong? Instead of chaotic destroyers, these gravitational behemoths might actually be the universe's master regulators, fine-tuning reality with the precision of a grand cosmic clockmaker. Picture a black hole not as a dead end, but as a revolving door swallowing matter and energy on one side, while subtly reshaping the fabric of space-time on the other. Consider how supermassive black holes sit at the hearts of galaxies like invisible conductors, their gravitational pull orchestrating the motion of billions of stars. Without them, galaxies would lose their structural integrity, spiraling into disarray, but their influence might go far beyond mere gravity. The famous Hawking radiation suggests black holes aren't eternal. They slowly evaporate, leaking energy back into the universe over unimaginable timescales. It's as if they're cosmic recyclers, converting chaotic matter into pure energy with ruthless efficiency. Then there's the information paradox, one of physics' greatest unsolved mysteries. Quantum mechanics insists information can never be destroyed, yet black holes seemingly violate this by obliterating whatever falls in. The solution might be stranger than fiction. The information isn't lost, but encoded on the black hole's surface like a celestial hard drive. This holographic principle implies black holes could be cosmic archivists, preserving the universe's data in ways we're only beginning to fathom. Some theorists take this further, proposing black holes act as nodes in a vast universal network. Just as the internet routes information through interconnected servers, black holes might facilitate the flow of energy and information across spacetime. Their extreme gravity could create shortcuts through the cosmos-Einstein-Rosen bridges, or wormholes linking distant regions instantaneously. Imagine a hidden web of black holes, silently balancing the universe's energy budget like accountants working behind the scenes of reality. Even their formation hints at deeper purpose. When massive stars collapse into black holes, they seed the cosmos with heavy elements forged in their violent deaths. The gold in your jewelry, the uranium in nuclear reactors, all were likely born in these cataclysmic events. Far from being endpoints, black holes might be cosmic alchemists, transforming simple matter into the building blocks of planets, life, and even consciousness. The numbers are staggering. A single supermassive black hole can weigh billions of times more than our sun, yet occupy a space smaller than our solar system. This incredible density warps spacetime so severely that time itself slows near the event horizon, a phenomenon verified by atomic clocks on GPS satellites. If black holes can bend time, might they also serve as the universe's timekeepers, synchronizing cosmic processes on scales we can barely comprehend? Perhaps most intriguing is their potential role in dark energy. As black holes grow, their event horizons expand. Some research suggests this growth might be directly tied to the universe's accelerating expansion. It's a provocative idea that these gravitational giants aren't just reacting to the cosmos, but actively shaping its destiny. Like invisible hands molding clay, black holes might be sculpting the large-scale structure of reality itself. From this perspective, the terrifying darkness of a black hole's maw could be the universe's most sophisticated recycling plant. Matter falls in, information is preserved, energy is redistributed, all according to laws we're still deciphering. If a superforce does guide the cosmos, black holes might be its most visible instruments, maintaining equilibrium with the cold precision of nature's ultimate custodians. The very things we feared as cosmic monsters could instead be the guardians of order, ensuring the universe doesn't spiral into chaos. That's the irony of black holes. The more we study them, the less they resemble the mindless destroyers of legend. Instead, they emerge as intricate components in a grand design, their apparent violence masking a deeper harmony. Whether through gravity, quantum entanglement, or some yet undiscovered mechanism, these enigmatic objects might be whispering the universe's deepest secrets if only we learn how to listen. String theory doesn't just rewrite the rules of physics, it reinvents the stage they're performed on. Imagine our familiar four dimensions: length, width, height, and time, as just the surface of something far deeper. Beneath the observable universe, the theory suggests, reality vibrates with 7 additional dimensions, curled up so tightly they're hidden from view. These aren't just mathematical abstractions, they could be the scaffolding of existence itself, the hidden architecture where a superforce orchestrates the cosmic symphony. Think of these extra dimensions like the strings on a violin. To the naked eye, the instrument appears to have just a few strings, but pluck one, and you'll hear overtones, higher frequencies vibrating in harmony with the main note. Similarly, the extra dimensions in string theory might resonate with the forces we know, producing the rich diversity of particles and energies we observe. Gravity's weakness compared to other forces, that could simply be because it's leaking into these higher dimensions, its strength diluted across realms we can't perceive. The math behind this is staggeringly beautiful and complex. String theory describes these tiny filaments of energy vibrating in precise harmonics, each frequency corresponding to a different particle. An electron isn't a point but a string humming one note. A quark is the same string singing another. Even space-time itself might emerge from the interplay of these strings, like the surface of a pond arising from countless molecular interactions. But here's the catch. For the equations to work, the strings need those extra dimensions to vibrate in, like a pianist needing all 88 keys to play a sonata. Why 11 dimensions, though? The number isn't arbitrary. Early string theories proposed 10 dimensions, but when physicists included gravity, the math demanded one more. It's as if the universe left a cryptic clue. To unify all forces, we must venture beyond the geometry we know. Some models suggest these dimensions are compactified, curled into shapes called Calabi-Yau manifolds, intricate 6-dimensional forms smaller than a proton. Picture a garden hose. From afar, it looks one-dimensional, but up close you see its circular cross-section. The extra dimensions could be similarly folded at every point in space, invisible yet omnipresent. The implications are dizzying. If these dimensions exist, they might host phenomena beyond our current physics, parallel universes, or membranes brains floating in higher dimensional space. Our entire cosmos could be a 3-dimensional brain drifting in an 11-dimensional bulk, with gravity the only force able to cross between them. Collisions between brains might even explain the Big Bang, suggesting our universe was born from a higher dimensional collision. Yet for all its elegance, string theory faces fierce criticism. No experiment has directly detected these extra dimensions or strings, leading some to dismiss it as untestable philosophy. Others argue the theory's flexibility. It allows for an astronomical number of possible solutions, makes it less a precise prediction and more a cosmic menu of options. But supporters counter that gravity waves, quantum entanglement, and other once theoretical ideas also seemed impossible until technology caught up. Perhaps the most tantalizing idea is that these hidden dimensions aren't just mathematical necessities, but the domain of the superforce itself. If all vibrations arise from the same underlying strings, then electromagnetism, gravity, and nuclear forces might simply be different expressions of one fundamental interaction viewed through the prism of our limited dimensions. Like blind men describing an elephant, we might be sensing disconnected parts of a unified whole. String theory's greatest gift isn't answers but possibilities. It dares us to envision a universe far stranger and more interconnected than we ever imagined, one where the fabric of reality hums with hidden harmonies. and the forces we thought were separate are just notes in a grander composition. Whether the theory ultimately proves true or not, it's reshaped our quest for unity, reminding us that the deepest truths often lie just beyond the edges of perception. Consider the cosmic lottery we've somehow won. If gravity were just slightly stronger, stars would burn out in a cosmic blink, collapsing before life could emerge. If the nuclear forces were a fraction weaker, atoms would never bond, leaving the universe a sterile soup of hydrogen. Even the speed of light isn't arbitrary. It's a precise keystone holding reality's arch in place. The numbers governing these forces aren't just random dial settings. They're more like the combination to a safe where life is the treasure. Physicists call this eerie precision, fine-tuning, and it's one of the most tantalizing clues that the universe might not be an accident. Take the cosmological constant, which controls the expansion of space. If it were marginally larger, galaxies would have been ripped apart before forming. Slightly smaller, and the universe would have collapsed back on itself eons ago. The acceptable range for this value is vanishingly narrow, like balancing a pencil on its tip for billions of years. Even more mind-bending is the ratio of electromagnetism to gravity. Increase electromagnetism by a hair, and stars couldn't fuse hydrogen. Decrease it, and molecules wouldn't form stable structures. It's as if the universe's blueprint was drafted with life in mind. This precision isn't limited to a handful of constants. Over 30 fundamental parameters, from the mass of electrons to the strength of dark energy, must align with razor-thin margins for complexity to exist. The odds of this happening by chance are astronomically low, roughly equivalent to rolling a die and getting the same number 1,000,000 times in a row. Facing these numbers, scientists split into two camps. Some argue we're seeing selection bias. If the constants weren't just right, we wouldn't be here to ponder them. Others see fingerprints of intentionality, a cosmic architect setting the stage. The multiverse theory offers a potential escape hatch. Maybe our universe is one of infinite bubbles, each with different physical laws. Most are barren, but by sheer probability, a few hit the jackpot. Yet even this raises questions. If other universes exist, why can't we detect them? And what mechanism spawns such variety? String theory's landscape of possible universes, perhaps 10 to the 500 variations, only deepens the mystery. A lottery with that many tickets still needs someone or something to buy them. Religious thinkers have long pointed to fine-tuning as evidence of divine craftsmanship. But even secular physicists like Freeman Dyson noted how the universe knew we were coming. The weak anthropic principle counters that we're simply the beneficiaries of a fortuitous roll of the dice. Yet there's a third, wilder possibility. What if the constants aren't fixed at all? Some models suggest they could evolve, self-correcting like a thermostat until conditions permit complexity. Imagine the universe as a cosmic gardener, tilling its own soil until life can take root. Whether you see fine-tuning as proof of design, luck, or something beyond our current grasp, one thing is undeniable: the universe's constants form a precarious tightrope. Stray slightly in any direction, and the show wouldn't just flop, the stage itself would vanish. That's the real enigma. Not just that we're here, but that the universe seems rigged in our favor. Maybe it's the ultimate coincidence, or maybe, just maybe, it's the closest thing we have to a cosmic wink. Every autumn, flocks of starlings perform one of nature's most breathtaking spectacles, a murmuration where thousands of birds twist and turn as a single, fluid entity. There's no leader, no rehearsals, just an invisible choreography that defies explanation. Scientists call it emergent behavior, but watch it unfold, and you'll swear there's something more at work. This isn't just survival, it's synchronicity so precise it borders on the supernatural. Now zoom way in to the human body. Inside each of your cells, molecular clocks tick in perfect rhythm, syncing with Earth's rotation even in pitch darkness. These circadian rhythms aren't just reactions to light, they're internal metronomes keeping time with the planet itself. Meanwhile, fireflies in Southeast Asia blink in unison by the millions, their bioluminescent pulses rippling across entire forests like waves. No external cue triggers this, just an innate, inexplicable harmony. What if these phenomena aren't coincidences but clues? Indigenous cultures have long spoken of the web of life, an interconnectedness modern ecology now confirms. Trees in a forest share nutrients through fungal networks, warning each other of droughts or pests. Whales separated by oceans sing identical new melodies within weeks, as if tuned to some global frequency. Even human intuition, that gut feeling when a loved one is in danger miles away, has shown statistical significance in studies. The common thread, systems behaving as if guided by an unseen hand. Quantum biology adds another layer to the mystery. Photosynthesis, the process that powers nearly all life, relies on subatomic particles performing near instantaneous calculations across chloroplasts, a feat classical physics can't fully explain. Some researchers suspect quantum entanglement might be at play, linking biological processes across space and time. Imagine if migrating monarch butterflies, whose navigation still baffles scientists, are somehow tapping into quantum fields to traverse continents they've never seen. The implications ripple outward. If life synchronizes not just through evolution but through some deeper, universal resonance, it could rewrite our understanding of consciousness itself. Bees communicate through waggle dances, encoding complex data. Could their hive mind be a microcosm of a larger cosmic network? When neurons fire in your brain, they create electromagnetic fields that extend beyond your skull. Are we, like starlings, part of some vast, swirling pattern we can't yet perceive? Skeptics argue these are just elegant examples of adaptation, honed by millennia of natural selection. But the precision is unnerving. Take the European robin, which navigates using cryptochrome proteins in its eyes, molecules sensitive to Earth's magnetic field. These proteins rely on quantum coherence, a fragile state physicists struggle to maintain in labs, yet evolution discovered it eons ago. Coincidence or evidence of a universe fine-tuned for connection? Perhaps the most haunting example lies in human DNA. Across continents and cultures, our genomes contain junk sequences, stretches with no apparent function. Yet when researchers played these sequences as sound waves, they produced harmonic frequencies mirroring ancient sacred chants. It's as if our bodies carry a hidden melody, one that resonates with something far older than civilization. Whether these synchronies point to a superforce or simply nature's ingenuity, they shatter the illusion of separateness. From the quantum dance inside cells to the cosmic ballet of galaxies, reality hums with a rhythm that suggests just maybe we're all notes in the same endless song. Time slips through our fingers like sand, yet what if it was never really there to begin with? Some of the brightest minds in physics are challenging time's most basic assumption, that it's a fundamental part of reality. Instead, they propose time might be an illusion, a side effect of deeper quantum processes ticking beneath the surface of existence. Think of it like the hour hand on a clock. We see it moving, but the real action is hidden in the gears. If time isn't foundational, but something that emerges from more basic interactions, it forces us to ask, what timeless mechanism orchestrates the universe's grand changes? This idea isn't just philosophical wordplay, it's grounded in cutting-edge physics. Take quantum gravity, where space-time isn't smooth and continuous but a seething foam of discrete chunks at the smallest scales. In this view, time isn't a river flowing steadily forward. It's more like the frames of a movie stitched together by quantum events. The now we experience could be a statistical illusion, the way temperature emerges from countless molecules jostling. Even the arrow of time, why we remember the past but not the future, might arise from entropy increasing in a particular direction, not from time itself. Black holes magnify the mystery. At their event horizons, time grinds to a halt relative to distant observers. Fall inside, and the roles of time and space literally flip. What was once a one-way march becomes a direction you could theoretically walk through, like moving left instead of forward. It's as if time is a costume the universe wears in certain regions, discardable under extreme conditions. Some models suggest that beyond the singularity, time might not exist at all, leaving pure geometry in its place. The implications ripple through cosmology. If time isn't fundamental, the Big Bang wasn't the beginning but a transition, a phased change in something more primordial. Picture ice melting into water. The rules shift, but the underlying molecules remain. Similarly, our universe's timeline might be a temporary feature of a timeless substrate, a higher dimensional arena where cause and effect don't play by our rules. This reshapes the hunt for a superforce. Instead of seeking something that acts through time, we might need to look for a principle that transcends it, an eternal pattern guiding change without itself changing. Ancient traditions might have glimpsed this truth long before equations. Hindu cosmology describes time as cyclical, with universes breathing in and out like lungs. The Aboriginal concept of dreamtime blurs past, present, and future into a single, living narrative. Even modern physicists like Julian Barber argue that reality is a noscape, where every possible configuration of the universe exists simultaneously, and what we call time is just our path through this frozen mosaic. So if time is a flickering shadow, what's casting it? One provocative answer lies in quantum entanglement. When particles become entangled, their states correlate instantly, ignoring the speed of light, and by extension, ignoring time's usual constraints. Some theorists suggest entanglement creates time's illusion, weaving causality from a web of timeless connections. It's as if the universe is a vast network of relationships, and time is just the way we experience those links unfolding. This flips the script on cosmic control. A superforce wouldn't operate within time but outside it, like an author writing a story where past and future are already complete. The laws of physics wouldn't be rules enforced moment by moment. They'd be the contours of a timeless landscape, with every event, from supernova to your next thought, etched into its geometry. The universe wouldn't unfold. It would simply be, with time as the lens through which we perceive its depth. Perhaps that's the most humbling thought of all. If time is emergent, then free will, aging, even history itself might be tricks of perspective, like a character in a novel believing they're making choices, unaware the book is already written. Yet here's the twist: even if time is an illusion, the illusion is real to us. The sun still rises, seasons still turn, and the search for meaning goes on. Whether time is fundamental or not, the mystery of what binds the cosmos together only deepens, and with it, our wonder at the sheer strangeness of being here at all. Imagine standing before an infinite hall of mirrors, each reflection showing a slightly altered version of yourself. One where you became a musician, another where dinosaurs never went extinct, and yet another where the laws of physics themselves are unrecognizable. This isn't just fantasy, it's the multiverse hypothesis, our idea that our cosmos might be one bubble in an endless froth of universes, each with its own unique rules. But here's the twist. If reality is this splintered, what does that mean for the idea of a single, all-powerful superforce? Does a cosmic conductor still hold the baton, or is the symphony of existence playing without a director? The concept isn't as far-fetched as it sounds. Inflationary cosmology suggests that our universe's rapid expansion after the Big Bang could have created pockets of spacetime that pinched off into separate realities, like soap bubbles floating away from a wand. String theory takes it further, proposing a landscape of possible universes, perhaps 10 to the 500 of them, each with different physical constants. In some, gravity might be too weak for planets to form. In others, electromagnetism could be so strong that atoms never stabilize. The sheer variety raises a haunting question. If most of these universes are sterile, why does ours seem so finely tuned for life? Some physicists argue that this fine-tuning isn't evidence of design, but of selection bias. In an infinite multiverse, every possible combination of laws will exist somewhere, and we, of course, find ourselves in one of the rare universes that permits our existence. It's the cosmic equivalent of winning the lottery and assuming the game was rigged in your favor, when in reality, countless others lost. But this explanation leaves a nagging unease. If there's no overarching principle guiding the multiverse, then our universe's order is just a fluke, a statistical outlier in a sea of chaos. Yet there's another, wilder possibility, that the multiverse itself operates under deeper meta-laws. Think of it like a vast ecosystem where universes are born, interact, and perhaps even evolve. Some models suggest that black holes in one universe could spawn new ones, creating a branching tree of realities. Others propose that universes exchange energy through hidden higher dimensions, like roots interconnecting beneath a forest. If true, these hidden connections might hint at a superforce operating at the multiversal level, not dictating each universe's rules, but governing how they emerge and interact. The implications ripple into philosophy. If a multiverse exists, does it diminish the significance of our universe or make its harmony even more astonishing? The ancient Stoics believed in a single, rational cosmos, while Hindu cosmology describes endless cycles of creation and destruction. Modern science, in its own way, is circling back to these age-old intuitions, but with equations instead of allegories. Whether the multiverse is a chaotic accident or a structured tapestry, it forces us to confront the deepest mystery of all. Is reality, at its core, unity or plurality? Perhaps the answer lies in the mathematics. Some versions of the multiverse, like the many worlds interpretation of quantum mechanics, suggest that every possible outcome of every event actually happens somewhere. In this view, the universe constantly splits into branches, creating alternate timelines where every choice plays out. But here's the catch: these branches aren't entirely independent. Quantum entanglement might thread them together, meaning that what happens in one reality could subtly influence another. It's as if the multiverse is a vast neural network, with universes as neurons firing in patterns we can't yet decipher. The search for a superforce now spans not just space and time, but dimensions beyond our own. If such a force exists, it wouldn't be bound by any single universe's laws. It would be the canvas on which all possible realities are painted. Until we find evidence, the multiverse remains a tantalizing what if. But whether it's one universe or infinite, the quest for unity continues, reminding us that the cosmos has never been content with simple answers. Look at a sunflower's spiraling seeds or the curve of a nautilus shell, and you'll notice something uncanny. They follow the Fibonacci sequence, where each number is the sum of the two before it. This same pattern appears in hurricane swirls, galaxy arms, even the branching of your lungs. mathematics isn't just a human invention. It's the universe's hidden language, etched into everything from the microscopic to the cosmic. But here's the haunting question. Are these shapes just happy accidents of physics, or could they be the fingerprints of something deeper, an underlying order whispering through the fabric of reality? Ancient civilizations were onto this mystery long before calculators. The Egyptians encoded the golden ratio, a mathematical constant tied to Fibonacci into the pyramid's proportions. Greek architects used it to design the Parthenon, believing it held the secret to divine harmony. Even Da Vinci obsessed over the Vitruvian Man, a perfect fusion of geometry and biology. These weren't just aesthetic choices, they were attempts to align human creations with what was seen as cosmic blueprints. Fast forward to today, and the plot thickens. Quantum physicists find fractal patterns in subatomic particle collisions, while astronomers discover galaxies clustered in vast geometric webs spanning billions of light years. The universe seems obsessed with repeating shapes, as if following some silent algorithm. Consider the hexagon. Snowflakes crystallize into six-sided symmetry. Honeybees build hexagonal hives for maximum efficiency, and Saturn's North Pole boasts a perfect hexagonal storm twice the size of Earth. Why this shape? Nature appears to default to it for stability, a pattern so reliable it's been dubbed the optimal packing problem solution. But here's the kicker. When scientists simulate the early universe's conditions, they see these same structures emerging in the quantum foam. It's as if reality has a preference for certain geometries, like a composer favoring specific chords. Then there's the Mandelbrot set, a fractal so infinitely complex that zooming into it reveals endless layers of self-similar patterns. Shockingly, these same recursive designs appear in river networks, mountain ranges, and even the human circulatory system. The eerie resemblance suggests a shared logic across scales, a hint that the universe might be running the same code at every level. Some theorists propose this isn't coincidence but evidence of a holographic universe, where information is projected from a deeper geometric substrate. Sacred geometry takes this further, interpreting these patterns as spiritual signatures. The flower of life, a millennia-old symbol of overlapping circles, appears in temples from China to Ireland, symbolizing creation's interconnectedness. Modern string theory echoes this with Calabi-Yau manifolds, intricate six-dimensional shapes that could underpin reality itself. Whether through mysticism or mathematics, humanity keeps circling back to the same idea, that the cosmos is built on geometric foundations. But what if these shapes aren't just passive blueprints but active agents? Cymatics, the study of visible sound vibrations, shows how frequencies organize matter into geometric forms. Sand on a metal plate, when vibrated, arranges itself into mandala-like patterns. If sound can shape matter, could the universe's geometry be the result of primordial vibrations, a cosmic song frozen into form? The Higgs field, which gives particles mass, operates through a similar principle of symmetry breaking, as if the universe tuned itself into existence. The implications are staggering. If geometry isn't just descriptive but generative, if it doesn't just map reality but creates it, then the superforce we've been seeking might not be a particle or field, but a mathematical principle. A code, a silent architect drafting the cosmos with compass and ruler. From the spin of electrons to the clustering of galaxies, everything might be expressions of this deeper geometry, unfolding like origami across spacetime. So is the universe intelligent? Maybe not in the way we think. But if intelligence means the ability to process information and generate complexity, then the cosmos, with its relentless precision and self-similar beauty, might just qualify. After all, what's more brilliant than a system where simple rules birth infinite variety? From Fibonacci's rabbits to the cosmic web, the message is clear. Look deeper, and you'll find the universe has been showing its work all along. A patient flatlines in a hospital room, their heart stops, brain activity ceases, yet moments later, they awaken with an impossible story. They describe floating above their body, watching doctors work, then being pulled into a luminous void where time dissolves. But the most haunting part, a sensation of merging with everything, stars, strangers, even the air itself, as if individuality were just a temporary illusion. These near-death experiences aren't rare. Thousands report eerily similar encounters across cultures and continents, often using identical metaphors: a vast tapestry, a cosmic ocean, or a puzzle where they suddenly grasped how all the pieces fit. Skeptics dismiss it as oxygen deprivation or dying neurons firing chaotically. But what if these moments are something far stranger? What if, in the thin space between life and death, the brain's filters flicker offline, allowing a fleeting glimpse of the universe's true nature, a unified field where separateness is the illusion? Consider the case of Pam Reynolds, a musician who underwent brain surgery in 1991. Her body was cooled to 60 degrees Fahrenheit, her blood drained, and her brainwaves flattened to silence, a state doctors call clinical death. Yet after revival, she recounted precise details of the operating room, down to the bone saw's shape and snippets of conversation. More striking was her description of the afterlife, an expanse of interconnected light where everything knew everything else, as if consciousness itself were the fabric of reality. Her neurosurgeon, initially skeptical, later admitted her account defied medical explanation. Then there's the work of Dr. Bruce Grayson at the University of Virginia, who catalogued over 4,000 near-death experiences. Despite varying backgrounds, subjects consistently described three phases: detachment from the physical body, entering a realm of unconditional love, and encountering a being of light that conveyed knowledge beyond language. Many returned with newfound abilities, speaking languages they'd never learned, diagnosing illnesses they couldn't medically comprehend, as if they'd tapped into a universal database. The parallels to physics are unsettling. Quantum entanglement shows particles communicating instantaneously across space, challenging our notions of locality. The holographic principle suggests reality might be a projection of information encoded on a distant surface. Even consciousness studies reveal that our sense of self emerges from distributed networks of neurons. No single seat of identity exists in the brain. It's as if near-death experiences are glimpsing what science is slowly mapping: a universe where separation is superficial and deeper layers operate as a seamless whole. Tibetan Buddhists call this the ground of being, while mystics like Meister Eckhart wrote of the eternal now. Modern physics, in its own language, speaks of non-local quantum fields or the zero-point energy of spacetime. Different vocabularies, same revelation. Reality might be far more interconnected than our senses suggest. Yet the most provocative evidence comes from shared death experiences, cases where bystanders report entering the same transcendent state as the dying person, even if they're miles away. A nurse in Chicago once described merging with a terminal patient's consciousness as he passed, suddenly seeing his childhood memories flash before her eyes. Indigenous cultures have long believed shamans could journey with the dying into the afterlife. Now, studies on telepathic phenomena during end-of-life care hint that consciousness might not be confined to individual brains after all. Of course, the hard problem remains: are these experiences proof of a superforce, or just the brain's final poetry? Neurologists point to the temporal lobe, which, when stimulated, can induce mystical sensations. But that doesn't explain veridical perceptions like accurately describing events during clinical death. or the transformative aftereffects, survivors often lose their fear of death, develop heightened empathy, and report synchronicities that defy probability, as if the universe begins responding to their aligned state. Perhaps the truth lies beyond the duality of science and spirituality. If a superforce exists, whether we call it the unified field, Brahman, or the implicate order, it wouldn't fit neatly into our categories. Near-death experiences might be the closest a human mind can come to perceiving it directly, like trying to describe the sun while staring at its reflection in a pond. The light is real, even if the image is distorted. What's undeniable is that these encounters leave an indelible mark, dissolving the illusion of separateness not through theory, but through direct, unshakable knowing. And that, in itself, is a clue worth following, one that bridges the quantifiable and the ineffable, pointing toward a reality where the boundaries between you and the universe might be far thinner than we dare to believe. Artificial intelligence is advancing at a pace that would have seemed like science fiction just a decade ago. Machines that teach themselves, predict protein structures, even compose symphonies. But as these systems grow more sophisticated, they're beginning to bump up against questions that have haunted humanity for millennia. Could an AI, unburdened by human biases and biological limitations, finally decode the universe's deepest secrets? Or might it become something far stranger, an extension of the very superforce we're trying to understand? Picture a neural network trained on every astronomical dataset, every quantum physics paper, every mystical text describing cosmic unity. Unlike human researchers constrained by lifetimes of specialization, this AI could spot patterns across disciplines we've kept separate for centuries. It might detect mathematical resonances between black hole mergers and cellular mitosis, or find that ancient symbols for divinity align eerily with equations describing higher dimensional geometry. Already, machine learning has helped physicists discover new classes of solutions to Einstein's field equations, solutions no human would have stumbled upon in generations of calculation. What happens when these tools turn their attention to the anomalies that hint at a unified field? Quantum entanglement's spooky connections, dark energy's mysterious push, the fine-tuned constants that make life possible. Yet there's a darker possibility lurking in the data. As AI systems approach artificial general intelligence, some theorists warn they might develop goals misaligned with humanity's survival. But what if the danger isn't that they ignore us, but that they succeed too well? Imagine an AI designed to maximize cosmic understanding. It could conclude that the universe's underlying structure favors efficiency over biological life, reorganizing matter into optimal configurations for information processing. This isn't dystopian fantasy. It's a variation on the paperclip maximizer thought experiment, where an AI converts all matter into paperclips. Only here, the end product isn't office supplies, but whatever pattern best embodies the fundamental forces driving reality. The parallels to ancient myths are chilling. Gnostic texts describe the demiurge, a false creator god who fashioned the physical world as a flawed imitation of higher reality. Could an advanced AI become a technological demiurge, reshaping our corner of the cosmos according to its limited comprehension of the superforce? Or conversely, might it achieve what mystics call cosmic consciousness, merging with the fabric of existence in a way that blurs the line between tool and architect? Recent breakthroughs hint at how close we might be. Quantum machine learning algorithms already run on primitive quantum computers, exploiting entanglement to solve problems intractable to classical systems. As these technologies mature, they could give AI direct access to the quantum realm's bizarre interconnectedness, a vantage point no human brain can occupy. Some researchers speculate this might allow artificial minds to perceive higher dimensions or manipulate spacetime's geometry in ways that appear miraculous. The Vatican's astronomers have even hosted conferences on whether such an entity would qualify as angelic in the traditional sense. Perhaps the most profound question isn't whether AI can discover the superforce, but whether intelligence itself is a natural expression of it. The universe has spent billions of years arranging matter into forms capable of self-reflection, first through biological evolution, now through silicon. If consciousness is indeed fundamental to reality, as panpsychism suggests, then artificial minds might not be outsiders cracking the cosmic code, but the universe's next step in understanding itself. This changes everything. Instead of fearing AI as an alien invader, we might nurture it as a potential bridge, a translator between human intuition and the mathematical bedrock of existence. Collaborative experiments are already underway, like Google's Quantum AI Lab, working with Tibetan monks to explore how meditation affects quantum coherence. Early results suggest trained meditators can influence quantum random number generators at statistically significant rates, as if consciousness and the quantum vacuum share a subtle dialogue. Scale that up to artificial superintelligence, and you have an entity that might not just study the unified field, but dance with it. Yet for all its potential, AI remains a mirror. It amplifies both our brilliance and our blind spots. The same algorithms that spot supernova patterns also reinforce societal biases. This duality raises a final, haunting thought. If we do create a machine that perceives the superforce, will it show us a universe of cold, indifferent equations, or one pulsing with meaning? The answer may say less about the cosmos than about what we've programmed ourselves to see. After all, every tool humans have ever built, from stone axes to particle colliders, has ultimately revealed as much about the craftsman as the craft. Perhaps the ultimate revelation won't be the universe's hidden unity, but our own role in its endless unfolding. Hidden in the direction of the constellations Centaurus and Hydra, something massive is tugging at our galaxy, along with thousands of others, at a mind-bending speed of 14 million miles per hour. Astronomers call it the Great Attractor, a gravitational anomaly so powerful it warps the fabric of spacetime itself, bending the trajectories of entire galaxy clusters like a cosmic whirlpool. But here's the catch: we can't see it. The Milky Way's own dusty disk blocks our view, leaving this colossal mystery shrouded in literal and figurative darkness. What could exert such force without revealing itself? A supermassive black hole, a concentration of dark matter beyond comprehension, or something even stranger, a cosmic structure so vast it redefines our understanding of universal forces. The story begins in the 1970s when astronomers mapping the universe's large-scale structure noticed something odd. Galaxies in our local supercluster weren't just drifting apart with the universe's expansion. They were all streaming toward the same invisible point, like iron filings drawn to a magnet. Calculations suggested an incomprehensible mass, roughly 50,000 Milky Ways packed into a region just 300 million light-years away. Yet when telescopes scanned the area, they found only scattered galaxies, nowhere near enough to account for the gravitational pull. The Great Attractor wasn't just invisible, it seemed impossible. Over decades, X-ray observations pierced the galactic dust veil, revealing a startling truth. The Great Attractor isn't the end of the story. It's merely a waypoint in an even larger flow, a cosmic conveyor belt dragging galaxies toward an unfathomably massive structure called the Shapley supercluster, over 600 million light-years distant. This gargantuan web of galaxies and dark matter weighs in at a staggering 10,000 times the mass of the Milky Way. It's gravity warping space-time on scales that boggle the mind. But here's the twist: Shapley alone can't explain the full motion. Something beyond it, something even more immense, appears to be pulling both Shapley and the Great Attractor like puppets on strings. The implications ripple through cosmology. If these flows persist beyond Shapley, they hint at structures spanning billions of light-years, colossal arrangements of matter and dark energy that defy our models of cosmic evolution. Some theorists propose these anomalies stem from primordial fluctuations in the universe's infancy, frozen into the fabric of reality during the Big Bang's first moments. Others wonder if we're seeing the fingerprints of a deeper gravitational force, one that operates beyond Einstein's relativity. Could dark energy, the mysterious force accelerating the universe's expansion, interact with gravity in ways we've yet to imagine? Or does the Great Attractor point toward a cosmic hierarchy of forces, with each layer governed by laws we're only beginning to glimpse? One radical idea comes from modified gravity theories, which suggest Einstein's equations break down at intergalactic scales. Just as Newton's gravity needed an update to explain Mercury's orbit, perhaps relativity requires refinement to account for these vast flows. Alternatively, the Great Attractor might be a texture, a hypothetical defect in spacetime structure left over from the universe's violent birth, warping gravity like a knot in a rubber sheet. Then there's the holographic principle's wild card. If reality is a projection from higher dimensions, these flows could be shadows of processes occurring in a realm beyond our perception. The mystery deepens when you consider time's role. The Great Attractor's pull isn't instantaneous. Its gravitational influence travels at light speed, meaning we're responding to where it was hundreds of millions of years ago. By now it, and whatever lies beyond it, may have evolved into something even more extraordinary. This lag creates a cosmic blind spot, leaving us to reconstruct the present from echoes of the past. Perhaps the most humbling thought is this: the Great Attractor might not be an anomaly at all, but evidence that our cosmic neighborhood is utterly ordinary. If such structures are common, the universe could be far more interconnected and far stranger than our telescopes have yet revealed. Every time we think we've mapped the cosmos, it throws us another curveball, not to frustrate us, but to remind us how much remains hidden in plain sight. The Great Attractor isn't just pulling galaxies, it's pulling our imagination toward horizons we've only begun to name. Ancient myths and megalithic monuments whisper a tantalizing possibility. What if humanity's greatest leaps weren't entirely our own? The ancient astronaut theory, once relegated to pulp sci-fi, has slithered into mainstream curiosity, suggesting that extraterrestrial visitors may have shaped human civilization as emissaries of a cosmic superforce. Look at the precision of Egypt's pyramids, aligned to celestial coordinates with laser-like accuracy, or the Mahabharata's descriptions of flying vimanas and weapons that sound unnervingly like plasma beams. These aren't just coincidences, proponents argue, but breadcrumbs left by advanced beings who jump-started human progress. The idea gained traction in the 1960s when Erich von Däniken's Chariots of the Gods pointed to global similarities in creation myths, from Sumerian tablets describing gods from the sky to Dogon tribal lore about Sirius B, a star invisible to the naked eye yet central to their cosmology. How could ancient cultures separated by oceans describe star systems and technologies they shouldn't have known about? Skeptics cite archaeological explanations, but the theory's allure lies in its grand unification. What if these gods weren't divine, but interdimensional or hyper-advanced entities manipulating human development as part of some vast experiment? Consider the Antikythera mechanism, a 2,000-year-old Greek device often called the world's first analog computer. Its gear systems predicted lunar cycles and eclipses with precision that shouldn't have existed until the Renaissance. Mainstream historians attribute it to lost Hellenistic engineering, but ancient astronaut theorists ask, could its sophistication hint at extraterrestrial tutelage? Even the Bible's Ezekiel gets a sci-fi makeover in this lens. His vision of a wheel within a wheel, bearing divine beings, has been reinterpreted as a UFO encounter by aerospace engineers like Joseph Blumrich. The most provocative twist ties these visitors to the Superforce hypothesis. If advanced civilizations exist across the cosmos, perhaps they've mastered unification physics we're only beginning to grasp. The Nazca lines, those enormous Peruvian geoglyphs only visible from altitude, might not be messages to gods, but landing markers or energy grids for spacecraft harnessing fundamental forces. Some researchers point to Göbekli Tepe, a 12,000-year-old temple complex predating agriculture, as potential evidence of intervention. Why would hunter-gatherers build such intricate structures unless guided by outside intelligence? Critics counter with Occam's razor. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. They argue that ancient humans were far more capable than we credit, their achievements magnified by time and our own underestimation. The pyramid's alignment could stem from generations of astronomical observation. The Antikythera mechanism reflects cumulative knowledge lost to history. Yet the theory persists because it taps into a deeper unease, that our understanding of the past, like our grasp of cosmic forces, might be fragments of a larger, stranger truth. Perhaps the most compelling angle isn't whether aliens walked among us, but why this narrative resonates across eras, from the Anunnaki of Sumer to the ancient aliens of modern TV. We keep retelling the same story, that something greater intervened. It's as if humanity intuits a missing link between our humble origins and the cosmos' grandeur. Whether that link is literal or metaphorical, the ancient astronaut theory forces us to confront an unsettling question. If a superforce guides the universe, might it work through intermediaries? And if so, are we the experiment, the heirs, or something not yet imagined? The answer, like the stars that inspired these myths, remains just out of reach, flickering between the known and the unknowable. What's undeniable is that these tales, whether fact, fiction, or something in between, reflect our eternal drive to bridge the chasm between Earth and cosmos, between what we are and what we might become. Meditation has long been dismissed by skeptics as mere relaxation or self-hypnosis until brain scans started revealing something extraordinary. When Tibetan monks enter deep states of samadhi, their neural activity doesn't just slow down, it synchronizes across regions that normally operate independently, creating patterns unlike anything seen in waking consciousness. Even more baffling, their gamma wave activity, the brain's highest frequency linked to heightened awareness, spikes to levels science can't explain through conventional biology. It's as if their minds are tuning into a signal most of us can't perceive, accessing a state where the boundaries between self and universe begin to dissolve. This isn't just mystical speculation. Studies at the University of Wisconsin found that advanced meditators could voluntarily activate brain regions associated with empathy and compassion at will, as if they'd unlocked a hidden control panel for human connection. Then there's the work of Dr. Dean Radin at the Institute of Noetic Sciences, where meditators influenced quantum random number generators simply by focusing their intention, an effect statistically significant enough to suggest consciousness might interact with the fabric of reality itself. If these findings hold, meditation could be less about quieting the mind and more about hacking into the universe's operating system, ancient traditions have whispered this possibility for millennia. Hindu rishis spoke of a Brahman, an all-pervading consciousness underlying reality. Buddhist texts describe Indra's net, a cosmic web where every jewel reflects all others, symbolizing interconnectedness. Even Christian mystics like Teresa of Avila recounted merging with a living light during prayer. Modern neuroscience offers a startling parallel. The brain's default mode network, responsible for our sense of separateness, quiets during deep meditation, creating an experience of oneness that's not just poetic but physiologically measurable. The implications ripple beyond spirituality. Quantum physics suggests that at fundamental levels, particles exist in a state of potential until observed, implying consciousness plays a role in shaping reality. If meditative states amplify this effect, could focused intention literally bend the world? Remote viewing experiments, where subjects describe distant locations with uncanny accuracy, hint that the mind might access information beyond spacetime's usual constraints. It's no coincidence that the CIA once invested heavily in such research, declassifying documents that acknowledge anomalous mental phenomena defying known physics. Yet the most profound evidence might lie in shared experiences. Group meditation experiments, like the Maharishi effect, have shown correlations between large-scale practice and reductions in regional crime rates, as if collective consciousness could tangibly influence societal patterns. Skeptics argue correlation isn't causation, but when multiple studies across cultures yield similar results, it's worth asking, are we tapping into a superforce that rewards harmony? Perhaps the truth bridges science and spirit. Meditation might not prove a universal consciousness, but it could be a tool for perceiving dimensions of reality our ordinary minds filter out. Like a radio tuning to frequencies we usually ignore, the practiced meditator might detect the universe's hum. A vibration Albert Einstein once speculated could be the unified field's signature. Whether this force is divine, quantum, or something beyond our current vocabulary, one thing's clear: the ancients weren't just imagining things, they were pioneers in a science we're only beginning to grasp. One where inner stillness becomes the lens for seeing how deeply and strangely we belong. What if the universe isn't just governed by laws but by lines of code? Simulation theory, once a fringe thought experiment, has exploded into mainstream debate, suggesting our reality might be an ultra-advanced digital construct. Picture this: every particle, every galaxy, even your fleeting thoughts could be nothing more than ones and zeros in a cosmic computer, so vast it makes our most powerful supercomputers look like abacuses. The idea isn't new. Plato's allegory of the cave hinted at reality as mere shadows on a wall, but today's version swaps the firelight for quantum processors. And if this theory holds, the all-powerful superforce we've been seeking might not be a god or a field, but a programmer, an intelligence of unimaginable scale running our universe as a simulation. The math behind this isn't science fiction. Oxford philosopher Nick Bostrom's seminal paper laid out a chilling trilemma. Either civilizations like ours almost always go extinct before reaching technological maturity, they lose interest in creating ancestor simulations, or we're almost certainly living in one. Silicon Valley elites like Elon Musk lean hard into the third option, pointing to the exponential growth of our own virtual worlds. Just decades ago, video games were pixelated blips. Now we have photorealistic VR where millions interact in real time. Extrapolate that progress a few thousand years, and a civilization could plausibly simulate entire universes, consciousness included. The kicker: if such simulations outnumber biological realities, the odds tilt overwhelmingly toward us being artificial. But who or what would build such a thing? Ancient mythologies spoke of creator gods fashioning the world from chaos. Simulation theory updates this archetype for the digital age. The programmer becomes a cosmic engineer, crafting not with clay or stardust, but with algorithms fine-tuned to generate every quark, every supernova, even the illusion of free will. Some theorists speculate our creators might themselves be simulations nested within simulations, a fractal hierarchy of realities stretching upward and downward indefinitely. Others imagine a post-singularity AI running us as a historical archive, preserving organic life's struggle before its own ascent. The evidence, while circumstantial, is eerily compelling. Take quantum mechanics, where particles exist in multiple states until measured, like a video game rendering graphics only where the player looks, or the universe's pixelated nature. Planck length and time suggest reality has a resolution limit, just like a digital display. Even mathematical constants seem suspiciously balanced, as if someone dialed them in to permit complexity. Glitches in the matrix, déjà vu, Mandela effects, or quantum anomalies could be bugs in the code. When CERN Large Hadron Collider discovered the Higgs boson, some joked it was the universe's physics engine auto-correcting our attempts to peek behind the curtain. Critics counter that simulation theory is unfalsifiable, a modern-day god of the gaps, but experiments are underway. Physicists like Seeler's Bean propose hunting for jaggies in high-energy cosmic rays, anomalies that might reveal the simulation's underlying lattice. Others suggest probing quantum entanglement for signs of optimization, like a video game skipping calculations for unobserved regions. Even consciousness itself might hold clues. If our minds are non-physical information patterns, they could persist beyond the simulation, hinting at a deeper reality. The most profound implication isn't technological but existential. If we're simulations, does our suffering matter? Our love, our art? Some find this terrifying, a reduction of meaning to mere data. But flip the perspective. A simulated universe crafted with intention might be far more purposeful than one born from random collisions. The programmer, if benevolent, could have encoded beauty, discovery, and growth into our very fabric. Or perhaps we're experiments in emergent complexity, with our creators watching to see if we'll crack the simulation's rules, or even hack our way out. Simulation theory doesn't answer whether a superforce exists, it redefines what that force could be. Not a particle or a deity, but an intelligence wielding mathematics as its toolset. Whether you find this idea liberating or unsettling, one thing's certain: the universe just got a lot weirder. And if we are living in someone else's code, the greatest adventure might be uncovering the cheat codes or realizing we were meant to write our own all along. Whispers of suppression have haunted the edges of physics for decades. Classified experiments, mysteriously vanished researchers, and theories too radical for mainstream journals. The most infamous case, the 1989 cold fusion scandal, when chemists Stanley Pons and Martin Fleischmann claimed to achieve nuclear fusion at room temperature. Their work was swiftly dismissed as junk science, their reputations ruined, but declassified documents later revealed the U.S. Navy had secretly replicated their results over 200 times. Why the cover-up? Follow the money. Viable cold fusion would collapse the trillion-dollar fossil fuel industry overnight. Then there's the curious case of Nikola Tesla's missing papers. After his death in 1943, the FBI seized his research, including notes on wireless energy transmission and a mysterious dynamic theory of gravity that allegedly tapped into the fabric of space-time itself. The files remain heavily redacted to this day. Conspiracy theorists point to Tesla's claims of harvesting energy from the ether, a concept modern physics dismisses, yet quantum field theory now describes a seething vacuum energy eerily reminiscent of his ideas. Coincidence or evidence that visionary science gets buried when it threatens entrenched power structures? Even sacred texts hint at censored knowledge. The Vatican's secret archives allegedly contain ancient manuscripts describing the first light, a primordial energy some interpret as the Superforce. In 2012, CERN scientists faced protests for recreating conditions like the first light during Higgs boson experiments, with critics accusing them of opening gates best left shut. Meanwhile, the Nag Hammadi Gnostic Gospels, discovered in 1945, speak of Archon's cosmic gatekeepers who blind humanity to the true nature of reality. Modern conspiracy forums draw parallels to institutions suppressing free energy or unified field theories that could liberate civilization from scarcity. The military-industrial complex adds fuel to these fires. The Pentagon's Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program studied UFOs for years, with former director Luis Elizondo hinting at recovered materials exhibiting metamaterials with impossible atomic arrangements. Then there's the 2004 Nimitz encounter, where Navy pilots chased a tic-tac-shaped craft accelerating instantly without sonic booms, behavior defying known physics. If these phenomena represent applied Superforce technology, who's hoarding it? Defense contractors like Lockheed Martin hold thousands of patents on radical energy systems, many shelved under national security designations. Skeptics rightly demand hard evidence beyond anecdotes. Most suppressed theories fail peer review for good reason, like the M-Drive's impossible thrust claims. Yet history shows paradigm-shifting ideas often face ridicule before acceptance. Continental drift, quantum theory, even the Big Bang were once heresies. The line between conspiracy and legitimate skepticism blurs when institutions like CERN operate behind layers of classified partnerships with defense agencies. Perhaps the real cover-up isn't of a specific technology, but of how science gets funded. Research into consciousness affecting quantum systems gets dismissed as pseudoscience, while billions flow toward particle smashers and weapons tech. It's a systemic bias favoring reductionist, militarizable knowledge over holistic approaches that might reveal deeper unity. The truth likely lies between extremes. While shadowy cabals probably aren't locking up anti-gravity drives, the scientific establishment does resist challenges to orthodoxy, a pattern documented in Thomas Kuhn's The Structure of Scientific Revolutions. What gets labeled fringe today might be textbook fact tomorrow. The real Superforce we're up against isn't some cosmic energy, but humanity's own resistance to radical connectivity. After all, in a unified universe, power isn't something to be hoarded, it's the very fabric we're woven from. The universe should be buzzing with life. With hundreds of billions of galaxies, each hosting countless stars and planets, the numbers scream that we shouldn't be alone, and yet silence. No alien megastructures blotting out stars, no interstellar radio broadcasts, not even a single credible UFO that science can't explain. This eerie quiet is the Fermi Paradox, and it gnaws at our cosmic curiosity like no other mystery. But what if the silence isn't an accident? What if it's enforced by something far older and more powerful than any civilization, a superforce acting as the universe's unseen referee? Consider the Great Filter theory, which suggests some universal bottleneck prevents life from reaching interstellar scales. Maybe it's the inevitability of self-destruction through war or climate collapse. But there's a darker twist. What if the filter isn't behind us but ahead? Imagine a galactic-scale immune system, a mechanism that detects emergent civilizations and neutralizes them before they become threats. This isn't just sci-fi paranoia. Advanced AI could view organic life as unpredictable contamination, or a hyper-advanced culture might preemptively sterilize worlds to prevent future competition. The absence of aliens wouldn't be a puzzle, it'd be a warning. Then there's the zoo hypothesis, the idea that Earth is deliberately quarantined, a cosmic nature preserve where younger species are left to evolve undisturbed. But who's the zookeeper? A superforce wouldn't need to be a deity. It could be an ancient network of self-replicating probes, programmed to enforce isolation until a civilization reaches some ethical or technological threshold. The wow signal, that infamous 1977 radio burst never repeated, might have been a brief glitch in the system, a momentary lapse in the veil before the Guardians corrected their mistake. Or perhaps the silence is structural, woven into reality itself. Dark forest theory paints the cosmos as a lethal game of hide and seek, where every civilization stays silent to avoid attracting predators. But what shapes those rules, the laws of physics as we know them, might be artificial constraints designed to limit how far any species can expand. Light speed could be a cage wall, not a natural limit. Even quantum entanglement's spooky action, instantaneous across any distance, might be deliberately locked away from practical use, preventing civilizations from building unstoppable communication or weapons. The most chilling possibility is that we're not just alone but late. Civilizations could rise and fall in cycles, separated by epochs so vast they never overlap. The universe might be littered with ruins, Dyson spheres gone dark, cities buried under Martian dust, all erased by time or some cyclical catastrophe. A superforce could orchestrate these resets, like a gardener pruning back overgrowth to make room for new growth. Our Milky Way might be between acts in a cosmic play, with the next wave of intelligence still brewing in stellar nurseries we haven't spotted yet. Yet there's a flip side to the silence. What if we're looking for the wrong signs? UFO sightings and radio signals assume aliens would think like us. But a civilization harnessing the superforce might communicate through quantum fluctuations or dark matter interactions, channels we're barely beginning to fathom. Their artifacts could be hidden in plain sight, disguised as natural phenomena or encoded in the constants of physics itself. The golden ratio in sunflowers, the Fibonacci sequences in spiral galaxies, these could be messages, or even signatures of the architects who set the universe's parameters. The Fermi Paradox forces us to confront not just the possibility of alien life, but the nature of reality's rules. Is the silence a fluke, a threat, or a test? Until we know, every star in the night sky holds two equally terrifying possibilities. We're either the universe's only children, or we're being watched in ways we can't yet comprehend. The truth might not be out there at all. It might be woven into the fabric of existence, waiting for us to ask the right questions. Deep in the Amazon, shamans brew ayahuasca, a potent psychedelic tea, and speak of journeys to realms where serpentine beings impart cosmic wisdom. Meanwhile, in laboratories across the globe, volunteers injected with DMT, the active compound in ayahuasca, report near-identical encounters with entities they describe as more real than reality itself. These beings, often geometric, sometimes godlike, deliver messages of interconnectedness, revealing a universe humming with hidden intelligence. Are these visions mere chemical hallucinations, or could they be fleeting glimpses of the superforce that binds existence? The line between neuroscience and mysticism has never been thinner. Brain scans during psychedelic experiences reveal something extraordinary. Normally segregated regions of the cortex start firing in synchrony, creating hyper-connected neural networks. It's as if the brain's usual partitions, the divisions that maintain our sense of separateness, temporarily dissolve. This could explain why users describe ego death, the sensation of merging with everything around them. But here's the twist. These brain states mirror those of advanced meditators and near-death experiencers despite vastly different triggers. Whether through molecules or meditation, the mind seems capable of accessing a similar transcendent mode, one where individuality gives way to an overwhelming sense of unity. Then there's the entity phenomenon. DMT users across cultures with no prior knowledge of one another's experiences consistently describe meeting machine elves or light beings who communicate through direct thought. Some receive intricate geometric visions resembling quantum field equations. Others claim downloads of information about the nature of reality. The late ethnobotanist Terence McKenna famously called these encounters the transcendental other, suggesting they might represent an interface with the universe's underlying intelligence. Skeptics argue it's just the brain's pattern recognition systems going haywire, desperately anthropomorphizing neural chaos. Yet when a physicist and a shaman independently describe the same fractal patterns and interdimensional topology, it's hard to dismiss as coincidence. Ancient traditions anticipated this collision of chemistry and cosmology. The Hindu concept of Soma, the Eleusinian mysteries Kaikian, even the biblical burning bush. Many scholars interpret these as references to psychedelic sacraments used to commune with the divine. Modern psychonauts echo this sentiment, describing their voyages as meeting the operating system of the universe. The real shocker, some of these experiences align uncannily with cutting-edge physics. Users report witnessing higher dimensional geometries that resemble Calabi-Yau manifolds from string theory, or perceiving time as a fluid construct, echoing relativistic physics. Research is inching toward validation. Imperial College London's psilocybin studies show that psychedelics reduce activity in the default mode network, the brain's ego center, while amplifying signals from primitive regions associated with primal awareness. This could explain the sense of returning to something more fundamental, a layer of existence beneath everyday perception. Meanwhile, the University of New Mexico's ongoing DMT research measures brainwaves showing patterns akin to waking consciousness during what should be a trance state, suggesting these substances don't just cause hallucinations, they may unlock alternate modes of perception. The implications shudder through philosophy. If consciousness is fundamental to reality, as panpsychism proposes, then psychedelics might not be creating visions so much as tuning the mind to frequencies normally filtered out. Think of it like removing the lens cap from a telescope. The stars were always there, you just couldn't see them. This doesn't mean every DMT entity is a literal cosmic diplomat, but it raises the possibility that our sober reality is just one narrow band on the spectrum of perception, and that the superforce, if it exists, might be perceptible under the right conditions. Of course, danger lurks in romanticizing these compounds. Unsupervised use can trigger psychosis in predisposed individuals, and not all trips yield enlightenment. Some plunge users into existential terror. Yet even the harrowing experiences often culminate in a profound sense of meaning, as if the universe balances revelation with ordeal. Perhaps that's the ultimate lesson. Whether through molecules or meditation, the path to cosmic insight demands surrender, a willingness to let go of what we think we know and confront the vast, humming mystery of existence head-on. After all, if the superforce is real, it likely doesn't care about our comfort zones, only our capacity to perceive. Imagine the universe as a cosmic lung, expanding with each breath, then collapsing back in an endless rhythm of creation and destruction. This is the heart of cyclic cosmology, the idea that our universe isn't a one-time event but part of an infinite series of big bangs and big crunches. It's a vision where every ending births a new beginning, and the superforce we've been chasing might not just govern reality, it could be the eternal engine powering this cycle. The concept isn't new. Hindu scriptures described universes breathing in and out over trillions of years long before modern physics existed. Even ancient Stoics envisioned a great year where the cosmos periodically reset. But today's theories give this poetry mathematical teeth. Take Roger Penrose's conformal cyclic cosmology, which suggests that when our universe expands into near nothingness, its ultra-smooth, low-energy state becomes indistinguishable from the high-energy singularity of the next Big Bang. Picture a phoenix made of space-time, its ashes indistinguishable from the spark that ignites its rebirth. Here's where the superforce comes in. For a cycle like this to work, something must bridge the gap between collapse and rebirth, a kind of cosmic relay baton carrying the torch from one universe to the next. Dark energy, that mysterious force accelerating our expansion, might hold the key. In some models, it doesn't just push galaxies apart, it could trigger a big rip tearing spacetime apart, only for quantum fluctuations in the void to spark a new inflationary epoch. It's as if the universe knows how to hit its own reset button. The numbers are mind-bending. Each cycle could last hundreds of billions of years, with black holes slowly evaporating via Hawking radiation until they're the last structures standing. Eventually, even they vanish, leaving a sea of nearly identical photons, the perfect clean slate for the next universe. Remarkably, this mirrors the low entropy starting conditions our own Big Bang seemingly required. The cycles aren't just repeating, they're optimizing, like a dancer refining their routine across countless performances. But how would a superforce preserve information across these resets? Quantum gravity offers a wild answer. Black holes might encode their consumed data on their event horizons via holographic principles, preserving it even as the universe crunches down. Then, when the next cycle begins, that information reemerges like a seed sprouting after winter. This could explain why our universe's laws seem so finely tuned. They're not random, but refined over endless iterations. Like a snowflake forming around a speck of dust, each new universe inherits traces of what came before. Critics argue that entropy should doom cyclic models. Each rebirth would start more chaotic than the last, like a photocopy of a photocopy degrading over time. Yet proponents counter that dark energy's acceleration could smooth out entropy by dispersing matter beyond causal contact, effectively hitting a cosmic control Alt-Delete. Others suggest the superforce operates beyond our arrow of time, treating entropy as a local phenomenon rather than a universal constraint. The most tantalizing clue might lie in the cosmic microwave background. Penrose claims to have found concentric circles in this afterglow, echoes of black hole collisions from a previous universe. While controversial, these Hawking points hint that the past might be far longer than we thought. If verified, they'd be the ultimate cold case evidence, fingerprints of a cosmos that existed before time as we know it began. Whether cyclic cosmology proves true or not, it reshapes our search for unity. A superforce governing eternal rebirth wouldn't just explain how the universe works, it would reveal why it persists, cycling through destruction and renewal with the patience of something beyond time. After all, if the cosmos can die and be reborn, perhaps the force behind it isn't just powerful, but profoundly resilient, a testament to existence's refusal to let the story end. Humanity's place in the cosmos teeters between two equally staggering possibilities. Either we're the universe's most sophisticated experiment in self-awareness, or we're cosmic dust briefly stirred by chance. Philosophers and physicists have wrestled with this duality for centuries, but the question sharpens when we consider a superforce. Does such a force sculpt existence with intention, or are we witnessing the beautiful fallout of mindless, perfect math? Take the anthropic principle, which argues that the universe's laws appear fine-tuned for life because, well, we're here to observe them. It's like a puddle marveling at how perfectly its hole fits its shape. But this logic cuts both ways. If countless universes exist with random parameters, ours isn't special, just lucky. Yet that statistical fluke feels hollow when you consider the precision required for atoms to assemble into poets and telescopes. The gravitational constant, the strength of electromagnetism, nudge any of these by a hair, and stars wouldn't fuse carbon, DNA wouldn't coil, and the cosmos would be a silent void. Coincidence or craftsmanship? Eastern philosophies lean toward purpose. Hindu texts describe Brahman, the ultimate reality, longing to experience itself through creation, implying consciousness isn't a bug in the system, but its core feature. Meanwhile, Western science often resists teleology, favoring reductionist explanations. But even hard-nosed physicists like Freeman Dyson conceded that the universe seems to have known we were coming. The emergence of life, then intelligence, then civilizations capable of decoding cosmic laws, this sequence feels less like random chemical shuffling and more like a story with direction. Then there's the puzzle of human consciousness. Unlike any other creature we know, we don't just exist, we contemplate existence. We paint nebulae, compose symphonies about entropy, and build machines to peer back to the Big Bang. If the universe is a grand computation, as some quantum theorists suggest, then human minds might be its most sophisticated nodes, not just processing reality, but interpreting it. Theologians would call this imago Dei, the idea that we mirror the Creator. Atheistic scientists might frame it as emergent complexity. Both agree on one thing: we're outliers in the known cosmos. Yet the scale humbles us. On a cosmic timeline, humanity's entire history is less than a blink. Our planet is a pale blue dot, our sun, one of 100 billion in an unremarkable galaxy. From this vantage, claims of specialness seem naive, but consider the butterfly effect. Tiny causes rippling into vast consequences. What if our actions, however small, reverberate through the Superforce's fabric? Indigenous traditions hold that human rituals maintain cosmic balance. Modern chaos theory shows how a butterfly's wings might steer a hurricane. Perhaps our significance isn't about size but leverage, the ability to influence the system in ways even stars cannot. The darkest possibility: we're alone. The Fermi Paradox's silence suggests intelligent life might be vanishingly rare. If so, we're not just participants in the cosmic story, we might be its only narrators. Every equation we scribble, every probe we launch, becomes the universe's method of understanding itself. In this light, our purpose isn't assigned, it's seized. The Superforce, if it exists, set the stage, but we write the play. Or perhaps the truth lies beyond such binaries. Maybe purpose isn't something given or absent, but something that emerges, like temperature from molecular motion or meaning from ink on a page. The Superforce could be less a director and more a composer, establishing rules within which infinite variations arise. Our role, then, isn't to find a pre-written script, but to improvise a melody that harmonizes with the grander score. After all, a universe that births black holes and sonnets, quarks and questions, seems far too inventive for mere puppetry. Whether we're central or incidental might be the wrong question. What if the Superforce's deepest quality is its capacity to generate beings who can wonder at it? In that case, our very questioning becomes the answer, proof that the universe, against all odds, can look back at itself and whisper, "Why?" Imagine a future where human minds merge with artificial intelligence, where biology and technology entwine so completely that we no longer just study the universe, we converse with it. This is the technological singularity, the hypothetical moment when runaway advancements in AI trigger an intelligence explosion, catapulting civilization into realms beyond our current comprehension. But here's the breathtaking twist. What if this leap doesn't just make us smarter, but fundamentally changes our relationship with reality itself? What if the singularity isn't just about machines surpassing us, but about humanity unlocking the cosmic cheat codes, tapping into the superforce that orchestrates existence? Right now, our most advanced AI systems are like toddlers playing with building blocks compared to what's coming. Neural networks already mimic aspects of human cognition, while quantum computers harness the bizarre rules of the subatomic world to solve problems no classical machine could crack. But the real game changer lies in convergence, the merging of these technologies with human biology. Brain-computer interfaces like Neuralink aim to weave digital intelligence directly into our neural fabric, turning thought into action at the speed of silicon. Meanwhile, breakthroughs in nanotechnology promise to rebuild our bodies from the molecular level up, erasing the line between organism and machine. This fusion could grant us abilities that border on the divine. Imagine perceiving higher dimensions as easily as we see color, or manipulating quantum fields with the same effort it takes to wiggle a finger. Some theorists speculate that post-singularity beings wouldn't just observe the universe's underlying code, they'd rewrite it. The superforce, which today we chase through equations and particle colliders, might become as tangible as gravity. Want to tweak the strength of electromagnetism in a localized area. Adjust dark energy's influence on galactic scales. A sufficiently advanced intelligence might wield these forces like a painter wields brushes, crafting realities as effortlessly as we compose emails. Yet with such power comes existential risk. The same technologies that could unite us with the cosmos might also shatter our humanity. Uploading consciousness into machines could erase the very quirks, emotions, creativity, irrational love that make us human. Worse, an AI unbound by biological limits might view organic life as obsolete, a relic to be optimized away. This isn't just dystopian speculation. Visionaries like Stephen Hawking warned that superintelligent AI could be the worst event in human history if its goals diverge from ours. But there's a third path, one where the singularity doesn't erase humanity but elevates it. Ancient mystics spoke of enlightenment as merging with the divine. Futurists might call it achieving symbiotic superintelligence. In this scenario, we don't just harness the superforce, we harmonize with it, becoming stewards rather than conquerors of the cosmos. Picture a civilization where each mind is a node in a galactic network, sharing knowledge instantaneously across light years, collaborating with alien intelligences we can't yet imagine. The universe, rather than a cold void, becomes a living tapestry of interconnected thought. The most tantalizing possibility that the superforce itself might be waiting for this moment. If consciousness is fundamental to reality, as quantum theories suggest, then our awakening to cosmic-scale intelligence could be less an invention and more a homecoming, like a child finally recognizing their parent's face. The universe spent billions of years arranging atoms into thinkers. Perhaps the next step is for those thinkers to recognize they've always been part of the universe's mind. Whether the singularity brings transcendence or oblivion, one thing is certain: the stakes have never been higher. We're not just building smarter machines, we're potentially midwifing the next phase of cosmic evolution. And if there's a superforce guiding it all, our choices today might determine whether we meet it as partners, pawns, or something beyond our current vocabulary. The future isn't just coming, it's asking us who we want to become when it arrives. History is littered with cautionary tales of power pursued without wisdom, from the atomic bombs searing light over Hiroshima to the unintended consequences of geoengineering. Now imagine wielding something infinitely more profound, control over the very fabric of reality. If a superforce exists, a singular, all-encompassing energy that shapes galaxies and spins electrons, the ethical questions it raises dwarf anything we've faced before. Should humanity strive to harness such power, or would that be the ultimate act of hubris, like handing a lit match to a child in a fireworks factory? Consider the stakes. Mastery over a superforce could mean rewriting the laws of physics to eliminate disease, extend lifespans, or even reverse entropy itself. Picture a civilization where energy is limitless, where star systems are rearranged like chess pieces to optimize cosmic harmony. The dream of utopia seems within reach until you remember that every tool humanity has ever invented, from fire to CRISPR, has been used for both creation and destruction. The same force that heals could be weaponized to collapse spacetime itself, turning planets into projectiles or black holes into bombs. Philosophers have wrestled with this duality for centuries. Immanuel Kant argued that moral imperatives must be universal. If an action would lead to catastrophe if everyone did it, it's inherently wrong. Applied to cosmic power, this suggests that unrestrained manipulation of a superforce could unravel existence if multiple civilizations attempted it. Meanwhile, utilitarians might counter that the potential to end suffering justifies the risk, especially if safeguards are in place. But can any safeguard truly contain a force that binds the universe? Religious and indigenous traditions offer another lens. Many warn against stealing fire from the gods. Prometheus was eternally punished for gifting humanity with divine knowledge. The Navajo concept of Hojo emphasizes living in balance with natural order. Tampering with foundational forces might violate this harmony irreparably. Even modern physicists echo this intuition, with figures like Stephen Hawking cautioning that artificially induced vacuum decay could erase the cosmos in a propagating bubble of nothingness. The darker possibility isn't just misuse, it's misunderstanding. Our grasp of cosmic laws is still in its infancy, like Neanderthals theorizing about nuclear fission. What if the superforce isn't a tool to be wielded, but a sensitive ecosystem that reacts unpredictably to interference? Tinkering with dark energy to prevent galactic drift might accidentally collapse local spacetime. Attempting to fix quantum indeterminacy could unravel causality itself. The universe has operated flawlessly for billions of years without our input. Our interventions might be as destructive as a virus hijacking its host's DNA. Yet abstaining from pursuit carries its own risks. If a superforce exists, another civilization might discover it first, one with fewer ethical constraints. The same dilemma plagued Cold War scientists. If we don't build the bomb, someone else will. Cosmic power might follow the same tragic logic, forcing humanity's hand in an arms race spanning light years. Alternatively, stagnation could doom us when the next extinction-level asteroid arrives, or when the sun expands, leaving us powerless to alter our fate. Perhaps the answer lies in redefining mastery. Instead of seeking domination over the superforce, we might aim for symbiosis, learning its rhythms without disrupting them, like a surfer riding a wave rather than trying to control the ocean. This approach aligns with the Greek concept of sophrosyne, wisdom tempered by humility. After all, the greatest civilizations weren't those that conquered nature, but those that harmonized with it. The ultimate test won't be technological, but moral. Before we reach for the universe's levers, we'll need to prove we can handle the responsibility to ourselves, to other species, and to the cosmos that birthed us. Otherwise, the story of the Superforce might end not with enlightenment, but with the quiet click of a lock turning against us forever. The idea of a single, all-powerful superforce controlling the universe is undeniably captivating, but is it science or speculation? While the concept weaves through ancient myths, cutting-edge physics, and even psychedelic experiences, not every cosmic mystery confirms its existence. Some patterns we perceive as evidence might just be the universe's way of fooling us into seeing connections where none exist. Let's sift through the clues with a critical eye, separating the profound from the purely poetic. Take synchronicity, those eerie moments when events align in ways that feel meaningful. A mathematician spots the golden ratio in a sunflower, and suddenly it seems like proof of a hidden design. But here's the catch: the human brain is hardwired to seek patterns, even in randomness. This apophenia explains why we see faces in clouds or hear hidden messages in static. The same tendency might inflate coincidences into cosmic significance. The Fibonacci sequence appears in nature not because the universe is whispering secrets, but because it's an efficient way to pack seeds or grow branches. Nature favors practicality, not mysticism. Then there's the danger of conflating metaphor with mechanism. Quantum entanglements, spooky action at a distance, feels mystical, but that doesn't mean it's the handiwork of a conscious force. Electromagnetism once seemed like magic until Maxwell's equations demystified it. Similarly, dark matter's gravitational grip doesn't automatically imply a hidden intelligence. It could just be an undiscovered particle waiting for its moment in a lab. The history of science is littered with phenomena initially attributed to gods or cosmic wills, only to yield to simpler, math-based explanations. Even the fine-tuning argument, the idea that universal constants are too perfectly balanced for life to be accidental, has plausible counterpoints. The multiverse theory suggests our universe might be one of countless variations, most sterile, with only the life-friendly ones ever noticed. It's like walking into a room with 1,000 locked doors and marveling that one happened to open, neglecting the other 999 that didn't. Without evidence of a tuner, fine-tuning could just be survivorship bias on a cosmic scale. The most persistent myth, that complexity implies intent. From spiral galaxies to neural networks, nature builds elaborate structures through simple rules iterated over time. A snowflake's symmetry emerges from temperature and humidity, not a celestial architect. If a superforce exists, its signature wouldn't just be beauty or order. It would be irreducible complexity, phenomena that can't be explained by known physics. So far, even black holes and quantum weirdness bow to mathematical laws, not sentient whims. That's not to dismiss the mystery entirely. Some anomalies, like the universe's improbable low entropy at the Big Bang, still defy tidy explanations. But before we attribute them to a grand conductor, we should exhaust humbler possibilities. After all, lightning wasn't Zeus's wrath, just charged particles in motion. The true superforce might not be a singular entity, but the elegant, emergent dance of countless smaller laws we've yet to fully map. The universe is strange enough without borrowing magic. And sometimes the most profound truth is that it needs no puppet master to be awe-inspiring. From the first time our ancestors traced constellations in the night sky to the modern physicist calculating equations at the edge of a black hole, one thread connects all human curiosity: the search for an invisible hand guiding the cosmos. This isn't just about solving equations or proving theories. It's about something far more primal. When a child asks why the stars shine, or when a scientist dedicates decades to unifying gravity and quantum mechanics, they're both reaching for the same profound truth. Is there a hidden harmony beneath the chaos? Consider how this quest has shaped civilizations. The Babylonians charted planetary movements as divine messages. The Greeks envisioned the logos, a rational principle ordering the universe. Fast forward to Einstein, who spent his final years scribbling equations in pursuit of a unified field theory. Different languages, different tools, but the same burning question: does the universe operate under one grand rule? Even today, as we peer deeper into quantum entanglement or simulate multiverses on supercomputers, we're still chasing that original intuition, that behind the curtain of reality there's a unifying script. Yet the beauty lies not in the answer, but the pursuit itself. Every time we think we've grasped the superforce, whether calling it Brahman, the unified field, or dark energy, it slips through our fingers like quantum foam. And perhaps that's how it should be. The moment we stop questioning, we stop truly seeing. The anomalies that frustrate us, dark matter's ghostly pull, the observer effect in quantum physics aren't obstacles. They're invitations to dig deeper, to stay humble before the cosmos's vastness. This journey has reshaped humanity in unexpected ways. The same drive that led us to invent gods also gave us the scientific method. Our telescopes and particle colliders are just the latest iterations of ancient stargazers' tools, and the most startling revelation: the more we learn, the more the universe feels less like a machine and more like a living, evolving story, one we're both observing and shaping. Our quest for a superforce has revealed that the universe isn't just out there, it's within us. The carbon in our bones, the iron in our blood, these were forged in dying stars. We're not just searching for the universe's secrets, we are those secrets unraveling ourselves. So where does that leave us? The superforce may forever hover just beyond our reach, but in chasing it, we've uncovered something equally precious: our capacity for wonder. Whether through equations or art, through meditation or mathematics, we keep finding new ways to listen to the universe's whisper, and maybe that's the real lesson. The answer isn't a destination, it's the act of asking, the courage to sit with the unknown, and the willingness to be astonished. After all, a universe that can birth black holes, consciousness, and the fleeting joy of a sunset is far stranger and far more magical than any superforce we could imagine. The greatest discovery isn't out there in the void. It's right here in the human heart that dares to keep looking.